Good morning. I'm Cynthia Crane. I serve in children's ministry. I'm loving that we're going through the book of Colossians because I love talking with my adult friends about it, and I also love teaching it to kids. I love that there are so many meaty pieces in here, but the biggest of all is just to think about Paul himself and about, well, how much he had been changed by God. In chapter 2, verse 6, it starts and it says, "So then, just as you receive Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in him, rooted and built up in him, strengthened in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness." Here's a guy who had been a complete jerk, so cruel to Christians, and had mocked them and done horrible things to them. And he had a conversion and an experience so real with Christ that it completely changed his outlook on everything. It changed the way he saw everything. So here he is, and he's in prison, and he's writing to everybody saying, don't forget to stay grounded and to be thankful, because he's overflowing with the security he feels that can only come from your relationship with God. I love that. And I love that he took the time and he could not stop writing letters, and that he used Timothy to go and take them to people, and Onesimus and other people. And as we sit there and we imagine him suffering, and yet really suffering, I don't know, he was excited about his faith and just reminding people, hey, don't forget to do this and don't forget to do that. I guess I am such a paper person. I have friends who write me letters, and I just love a good old-fashioned card in the mail. I love Christmas time because we get a lot of cards, but when you get one for no reason in the mail, like this one from my friend in Nashville, who it's a card, and the front of it says, "I'm in a good place right now. Not emotionally, I'm just at the donut shop." I think, oh my gosh, she is always one to bring a smile to my face. But to open up this card and see the words that she has written and see that she has totally turned me and my focus back to the Lord, and that she always does that. Whether she's going through really great times or hard times, she's always making sure that I'm finding hope and encouragement. And I try my hardest to do the same to her, because that's what our entire friendship is based on. It's just knowing the Lord and finding how real he makes himself to us. It doesn't have to be a card. It can be a simple piece of lined paper. But I got this letter from a friend recently, and it is just the most encouraging letter. And, Paul writes and he says, hey, be sure to be encouraging to each other. And lately, I have been really realizing the power of encouragement and the feeling of the absence of it. There is something really powerful about coming alongside someone and just being there for them and being there with them. And it's funny because I got a new Bible for Christmas this year, and I'm so excited about it because it has huge print. I mean, huge. And the reason is because my eyes just aren't what they used to be. My vision is changing drastically. But I've come to see that as a gift, because as my earthly vision is fading as I age, my heavenly vision is strengthening. And I am so grateful. This Bible is fun because in it has Jesus's words in red letters, and I love that. But a tradition I have every time I get a new Bible is I put a red envelope in the back. I glue it right in it. And then when I get letters from friends that are super encouraging, I put them in the back. It's just kind of a symbolic thing to me that Jesus speaks in red letters, and yet sometimes my friends are Jesus with skin on, and they write something to me that is incredibly encouraging. So I have in every one of my Bibles an envelope in the back that is filled with things that have brought me such joy and hope in the best of times and in the worst of times. And I look forward to someday, when I'm no longer on this earth, that my kids will be able to go through and find that and see what meant the most to me. My Bible always means a ton to me, and my kids had fun mocking me that I needed a bigger print Bible. But you know what? I love that it's the same book that we read over and over again, but every time we read it, we get a new nugget out of it. Looking in the book of Colossians this time, what I'm seeing is that we all need more encouragement than we could ever imagine. And that no matter what our circumstances are, just the power of a pen and a paper and a stamp can really make all the difference in the world. Paul had Timothy, and we have the postal service, but it still makes all the difference in the world. So who is someone in your life that you can be Paul to today and totally encourage? I know that I personally am going to write it on a papyrus card, and here's why. They tend to have more texture, and they're made on recycled paper. And what could be more symbolic? Looking at Paul and how he basically was recycled from a jerk into the most useful tool ever. Unbelievable how God takes something or someone who's such a mess and restores them into something that he can use for his glory in such a mighty way. You might have somebody in your life that feels like they can't be used by God anymore, and your words could remind them that indeed the best is yet to come. Have a great day.